Welcome for the final time to the final of the Festival of Football. It's Portugal versus England. Fittingly, the sun sets over the Berlin skyline as the curtains close on the European Championships. What's left of our Galaxy star glistens off of the Henri Delany trophy as the field glows up with the stars of the European Championships, the two best teams left in this competition. Against all the odds, England reach their second Euro final consecutively. It is their first final on foreign soil in their history. If you are an Englishman like me, it's been a lot less painful to watch England virtually than it has been in the real competition. And by the time you're watching this, England could be dual champions, both in the game and in the real world. Or they could be empty-handed in both realities. For Portugal, it will be their third European Championship final in 20 years. And of course, Cristiano Ronaldo has featured in all three of those. They beat England on the route to the 2004 final. They narrowly made it through the group stage without a single win in 2016. And unfortunately for Ronaldo, his involvement in that final came to a premature end, with only a gigantic mutant moth to console his tears. He will be seeking redemption in what is very likely to be his last international competition. It was a mini rivalry of the early 2000s, Euro 2000, Euro 2004 and the 2006 World Cup. England lost on all three occasions to Portugal. This is their first meeting since then. Ronaldo has surely ran away with the Golden Boot with 8 goals. Harry Kane is England's leading goal scorer with 3. Kieran Trippier is selected ahead of Luke Shaw, who featured in the semi-final. But other than that, both teams fielding familiar full-strength lineups. One last dance for Ronaldo, one last chance for Gareth Southgate. It's time for the Euro 2024 final. It's Portugal versus England. And the Seleção knows all too well the threat of Phil Foden. They gang up on him immediately, freeing up Jude Bellingham for an early test of Costa's gloves. Vitinha played up wide to Cancelo. Now Vitinha picks up Bernardo Silva and he's just edged it past Guehi for a return, a jab of his own for Portugal against Pickford. Bruno Fernandes is a high corner that Leao couldn't make use of. Ronaldo keeps it alive in flashy fashion and Pickford keeps Bernardo Silva out with a cat-like save. And that was a real challenge for the eccentric keeper, Jordan Pickford. Trippier hoofs it up the field to Bellingham. Wastes no time getting the ball in, and Harry Kane liked the look of Ronaldo's bicycle kick and he thought he can do one better. Trippier. Foden opens up the body for the strike as it whistles beyond the Portuguese goal. Silva and Fernandes, both sides of Manchester combining there. Bruno Fernandes across the face of goal and it's tucked in by Rafael Leao. 30 minutes into the grand final in Berlin. Portugal are the first to profit in the Euro final. And it's the Manchester City pair of John Stones and Kyle Walker who can't decide among themselves who should be picking up Leao at the far post. England are behind in Berlin once again, just as they were against the Italians in the quarter-final. Mainu having trouble with Bruno Fernandes and he chops down his teammate. And we may pay a visit to Cristiano country. Ronaldo gets it over the wall, but it can't thrust down on Pickford in time. Half-time here in Berlin. Portugal have the bragging rights so far. It's Portugal 1, England 0. 4 minutes to go. It's now or never for Scotland. Here is McGinn, opens the body up, and it's a wonder strike. And now we have a game on our hands, but there's just 3 minutes left to go. Where do they go from here? I'll take that, the Scottish fans on their feet and roaring. Things. Jurk. Now Havertz. Back over the top to Furic. He leapfrogs the defender. Slams on the brakes and... Oh! A magnificent lob! And one of the first contenders for goal of the tournament is unfolding before our very eyes. He sees Galashki in no man's land and is floated over the top of his balding head. Here we go, let the old times roll. It's a free kick from Ronaldo! We've been waiting for this! He's converted many of those successfully in Saudi Arabia. But we've waited a long time to see a classic free kick. Converted expertly, mercilessly, here in Germany. Out of all the attempts in this tournament, that one Thank you everyone for your enthusiastic votes on the goal of the tournament. It's time for the second half of the Euro 24 final. Foden wasting no time getting the shot off, and it must have knocked Ruben Diaz punch drunk. Saka with the corner for England, and Bellingham glances it with not enough venom. It's comfortably caught by Costa. No goals for Bellingham since the round of 16 tie against Slovakia. Trademark frustration of Ronaldo kicking in as he draws a foul for England. Trippier can't convert as he did against Croatia all those years ago in Russia. Nice turn from Palhinha. It's Cancelo. Sends the ball in, and Leao clashes with Kyle Walker just as he did with Jonathan Tah to score the match winner against Germany. Still just over 20 minutes to go, but it will soon fly by if England don't respond now. But they're in trouble here as Leao has found the captain! And for the first time in his illustrious career, Cristiano Ronaldo scores in a European Championship final. And at this stage of the evening, it may be all over. The race for the Golden Boot certainly is. A record-breaking 9 goals for the 39-year-old. And it just wasn't meant to end like this for England. Walker, trademark long throw. It's found Kobe Mining. Rice. Shaw, Manu flicks it up elegantly to Shaw, and he finds Harry Kane, and now both captains on the score sheet. And England are back in this with time slipping away. Where has this been all along? An instant response to Ronaldo putting Portugal into a profitable position. You almost forget Harry Kane was on the field. Much like the reality, but when you need him, he's there. England have to make this the greatest 10 minutes of their lives if they want to live the greatest moment of their lives. Ollie Watkins, the hero of Dortmund. Sure, can't reach Kane. Bellingham! Oh, wow! Jude Bellingham with what should have been the goal of the tournament. That is the moment, that is the goal that will be replayed until the end of time, as long as he lives. And he'll live for a long time. He's only 20 years old, but with such high stakes and the pressure to flick it up like this and hit it on the volley, it's a wonder goal. Just 5 minutes ago, they were 2 goals down. We're back to square one, and the bemusement etched across the Portuguese faces. It's an innocuous knock from Kyle Walker on Bruno Fernandes. We're going to take one last flight to Cristiano country. Waited such a long time for a trademark free kick from this man. Surely it can't happen again. Speechless. I have no words. And if I do, I say them too soon. Cristiano Ronaldo. 10 goals in this tournament. And surely if that's his last, it's got to be the best. Of course he would. Just as it was 20 years ago, it's 3-2 for Portugal. And it's a wonder strike that may put England in a heartbreaking position. Oh, Pepe has brought down Ollie Watkins. Is that a penalty? Oh, it's just outside the area. Last roll of the dice for England as Saka hits the crossbar. So close yet so far. Not that it matters. Bukayo Saka once again rescuing England as he did against Switzerland in the physical realm. I can't believe what I'm seeing. After a touch and go first half with the lone goal from Rafael Leao, that man, there is a burst of bulging nets at both ends. It's Kobbie Mainoo with the assist of a lifetime. Here we go for the second final in a row for England. They head into the unknown depths of extra time. It's Portugal 3, England 3. Here we go, 30 more minutes of Euro final football. It's been a 6-goal thriller. And there's plenty of time for a few more in this Hollywood final taking place in Berlin. Shaw squeezes it off to Gallagher! England finally lead for the first time. And it's come from the least likeliest suspect, is Chelsea's Conor Gallagher. Doesn't score many of those for his club, but he has exploded. All of that pent-up goal-scoring prowess with a rising shot. Berlin has been bombed by England once again. This time in the 21st century, it's a spitfire of a goal and he knows it. Portugal behind for the first time since the quarter-final with Ukraine. Here is Danilo. Evades Luke Shaw. Ronaldo knocked down for Francisco Conceição. It's turning into a basketball game in Berlin. You score, I score. Kick it back up the field when you're done with it. He is the son of the former Portugal servant Sergio Conceição. And boy has he made his father proud. Pickford gets a few fingertips on it, but the power is unmistakable. Gallagher. Now Palmer on the turn takes a deflection off of Pepe. A sacrificial block from the oldest man on the pitch. And that should advance his diagnosis of dementia by a few years. 4 minutes to go. Otherwise it'll be penalties in Germany once again between England and Portugal. Ollie Watkins, who was the saviour against the Netherlands but couldn't recreate it. Nunez almost scoops in. A last gasp volley. One last chance. Saka. Now Palmer. Can't get the shots off and he's brought down, but the referee couldn't care less. He wants to see a lottery of the penalty shootout. Was this a penalty? As Nunez goes clattering up the arse of Cole Palmer. Looks like the VAR referees are somehow sleeping through this thrilling game that has come to a close. Portugal 4, England 4. And now a champion has to be decided in the cruelest of fashions. João Felix volunteers to take the first kick. England should be used to this. They surpassed France on the penalty shootout, and Pickford didn't even have to get his kit dirty as Felix has wailed it wide. Now Costa is up, and so is Cole Palmer. Slots it home for the first goal. Conceição levels it for Portugal. Bukayo Saka, can he redeem himself for the Wembley final? And the ghosts will haunt him again. Cristiano Ronaldo steps up for the third one and is expertly dispatched. Of course it is. Eder to equalise for England, and he does. Now it's going to be Nunez. Almost had his moment at the end of the game, but he gets one here with a penalty. Can Conor Gallagher double up on his goal from extra time with a penalty here? Hard hit, just as he did. Palhinha has to score this to keep Portugal alive, and he does. He rolls it past Pickford. If Ollie Watkins misses, it's all over. And thankfully he does convert. We go to sudden death. Bernardo Silva does his job. And it'll come down to Declan Rice. Reaching penalty. Costa brought to his knees. Diego Dalot. Pressure falls back on him. And it's saved! Pickford finally gets a hand on that silver ball, and it will be down to Luke Shaw, who many argued shouldn't be here. But they may be thankful he is, because he has won the European Championship for England for the first time. It's finally coming home. And they had to wait a long time to get that sweet revenge on the penalty shootout against the Portuguese, who haunted them in 2004 and 2006. It's a moment you'd thought you'd never see. An England captain lifting the European Championship, and it's Harry Kane finally winning a trophy. And he couldn't have imagined it'll be the second biggest in international football. England are the champions of Europe. So for the final time, we take a glance at the top goal scorers, Cristiano Ronaldo, unsurprisingly breaking records to this very day with the Golden Boot. Thank you everyone for joining us on this memorable tour of Germany as the Euros come to a close. In 4 years' time, it will literally come home, as the Euros will be hosted by England, and I guess I'll see you then. And when that happens, we'll probably still be playing PES 2021.